Thank you. I'm Mr. Lehner, and welcome back to Mr. Lehner's Math Extravaganza. And in today's webisode, we're going to look at Data About Us, Lesson or Investigation 2.3. And yeah, you notice it says mean up there again. We're going to take it a step further now and kind of use one of those SMPs that we're talking about, where we're going to use the mathematical practice of using knowledge that we already have to help us answer a different type of question. So let's take a look at an example problem, and just to give you some warning, I threw a fraction in there. Uh-oh, I know they're scary, they're too hard, we can't do them. What are we going to do? We'll figure it out as we take a look at this example problem. In my example problem up here on the board, it says a set of 9 households has a mean of 3.5 people per household. Create a data set that fits this description. Now, again, we know there's no such thing as 3 whole people and then a third of a person. You can't really take me and split me 3 ways without killing you, but we don't want to do that. Let's not go down that street. But you can't have a third of a person. So that's what we call like the average or the mean. We know it's a little bit more than 3 people per household on average. That's what's typical. So let's look at the information. I know that we have a set of 9, so I know there has to be 9 numbers in my set. I know that the mean has to be 3.5. I have to come up with a data set that fits that description. So now let's think about one of the strategies that we talked about in class. When we were working with a data set that had 6 and finding a mean of 4, we realized that all the data had to equal, the 6 numbers had to equal 24, and when we divided out, they would equal 4. We worked with a data set that had 7 numbers that had a mean of 3. We knew that we needed 21 to be the total number to divide out. So think about, how did we do that? We multiplied our data set and our mean. So our data set's 9. The mean is 3 1/3. So think about it again, there's a fraction here. If I were to multiply that out, 3 times 9 would be 27. 1/3 of 9 would be 3, so that would be 30. So I know that my data set now has to equal 30 people. I need 9 numbers, and as long as those 9 numbers equal 30, I'm going to get my mean here. So let's take a look. I decided to choose out these numbers up here, so let's add them. 2, 4, 4 plus 3 is 7, 7 plus 3 is 10, plus 3, 13, plus another 3 is 16, plus 4 is 20, plus 5 and 5 would be 30. Let's double check to make sure I had 9 numbers, because you know what? Ms. Flair does make mistakes too. It does happen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have a data set that has 9 people, a data set that has 9 households, which equals 30 people, and I can double check this. 9 times 3 1/3 is going to equal 30 people, or I could take 30 people divided by my 9 data set, and that's going to equal 3 1/3. It's just like a fact family that we've talked about earlier in some of these units. So this is a fact family here with 9, 3.5, and 30. I can take 30 people divided by the 9, and it's going to give me 3 1/3 for my mean, or my data set here. So again, don't be scared of the fraction. Fraction, look, he's up there, I'm next to him, he's okay. We're able to solve this problem. So you're going to take a look at another data set and see if you can make meaning from that data set. Again, this is not the only answer that you could have had. You could totally change this data set up here. As long as your 9 numbers equal 30 people, you'll be able to find a data set that works for this figure. It's kind of like you're solving a mystery on there. If you ever watch like Scooby-Doo or reading a mystery book, you're solving the mystery here of what the data set is. Alright, again, my favorite time of this video. Your turn. I want you to find a set of 9 households that has a mean of 5 people per household. Yeah, I know, you're lucky. I didn't give you a fraction there. You're welcome. The largest household in the group has 10 people. I did give you another piece of information though. Make a data set that fits this description. So again, I've given you that you need 9 set of data. The mean has to have 5, and the maximum number in the group, or the largest household, has 10 people in that group. So I know you're all ready to go out there. Go ahead and pause the video, and we'll see what you come up with. Okay, again, yours might look a little different than mine, that's okay, but I'm going to show you a sample that I came up with for this problem. So I knew that I needed 9 numbers to be in this. I know that 10 had to be the largest, so there couldn't be any numbers larger than 10. So when I started solving this, I just put 10 in my data set right off the bat. I also knew if the mean was 5 and there were 9 numbers, I could do 9 times 5 to get 45. So I knew that I needed 45 total in my numbers. And if I used 10 as my largest, it left me how many? You're right, 35 left. I had to make sure all these other numbers here equaled 35. So I did 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, and 10 to equal up to 45. So we'll do a quick check. Excuse me. 3 and 3 is 6, plus 2 is 8, plus 4 is 12, plus 10 is 22, plus 7 is 29, 29 and 6 is 35, 35 and 10 is 45. So again, I'm just doing my math, as you can see, to double check my work. It's just a good habit to get in when you're working with your math up here. So I had the 45 people. So I knew that 9, my set of 9 times 5 equals 45 people. Or I can reverse this, use our fact family, take 45, which was the total, divided by the 9 in the data set, and that's going to equal 5, which is going to tell me my mean. So again, in looking at the data, the average or the typical number of people in a household is 5. My largest value was 10, which was inside here, and I had 9 total data sets. So again, this is just to help us get familiar with using the mean, using the average to see how it can help us in looking at a math problem like this. Thank you for tuning in to Mr. Lehner's Math Extravaganza. As always, we'll see you next time.